Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Don't Be Mad podcast. I am one of your hosts, Matthew Rivera, and I'm joined by, as always,
Jason Elias. How you guys doing?
And we are here on a beautiful, nippy Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it's falls in the air. It's starting.
Yeah, pretty much out of nowhere after having 2.5, 3 weeks of 25 to 40 degree weather, in September, to then all of a sudden get hit with 7 degrees this morning.
Well, I don't mind it. It's those last couple of days were a little bit extremely too hot. If it was earlier in the summer, cool, I can get it. But now I don't mind the little cool weather coming through and everything like that right now.
To all the fellas, it's officially protect your hoodie season. You know what I'm saying, man? If you know you got a cute little thing that's been coming around a bit more often than usual, it's not cuffing season. It's still your sweater season. So lock them away, secure them. That's what she's trying to do.
Dude, it's great.
Hey, it's real, man. It's real out here. You got to protect your hoodies.
Right,
free the hoodies.
If you say so, man. People don't touch my clothes against me.
Let's start the podcast with some good, positive, filled my heart, warmed it to the very brim. Cardi B.
Cardi B?
Number one on the world Billboard charts.
That's good. That's a good accomplishment.
She knocked off that she-devil Taylor Swift. Ooh-wee.
Taylor Swift is pretty... Well, I'm not a fan of her music. I think she's trash, but... Cardi B, you did us proud.
She's been repping the BX. She's doing it. New York, stand up. BX, stand up.
Support Cardi B. Support her music.
Afro-Latina, stand up. Dominican, stand up.
Cardi B looks amazing. She's bad as hell.
Love me some Cardi B.
But as soon as Cardi B starts talking, my mind just starts to drift because I can't.
That's you, man. I love her energy. I love her success.
I'm pretty sure what she's saying is positive too.
Offset's so lucky, bruh.
I'm pretty sure what she says is positive too, and I have no hate for her. I actually want her to succeed. But when she starts talking,
what's crazy about it? Just the fact that she's the first female rap artist to get the world number one. The last female to do that was Lauryn Hill back in 1998.
That's a good accomplishment to get that.
That's a good accomplishment. That's a long ass time, man. So shout out to her, man.
She was on her grind. Man. I know she was on her grind for a long time.
I believe she's the first Dominican woman to do that too. So
that's
hats
good.
off, man. For
that's
real.
Good.
Gotta show love. Gotta show support to our people.
Some good diversity on the Billboard charts.
Let's do it.
Everything. Something new. We're tired of
after all the blackness and culturalness that happened at the Emmys, to have this happen right after, bong.
I was going to say I'm tired of Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm tired of her too, man.
You hear her.
I'm tired of her playing the victim.
I'm not getting into this. But
you know what? If everything around you is falling apart, maybe it's you.
That makes perfect sense.
That's all I got to say about that, okay? In other news, in world news, I showed Jason earlier the video of the Ugandan parliament.
Yes, the
getting brazy in this bitch.
Yeah, people were catching fades with sticks.
I want you to go on YouTube, all right? Search Ugandan parliament fight and just find the long video. I think it's 6 minutes long or something like that. Try to watch everything you possibly can on the screen because there's so much going on. But okay, to give you the backstory, essentially, the person who I believe is the prime minister or president of Uganda right now, he's 73 years old. He's coming to the end of his term, and they have a rule in their parliament that once you hit the age of 75, you can't. Basically, you have to retire from parliament. You basically have to leave, you have to go, you can't run for another term. So this man who obviously, when he took power, literally took power through violence and basically just overthrew the other people that were in power. Now he wants to change the rules so he can essentially take another term and keep ruling. The people were not too happy about that.
Dude, this is so classic in African nations that you see this kind of corruption stuff happen, and people don't care. The outside world don't care. I'm not saying the African people don't care, because they do care, because they want fair elections for everyone. But
of course,
the outside world really don't. They really don't care about what's happening. And you see this kind of corruption continue in African nations. Like, oh, come on, man. It's like, when
one thing I will say, I kind of wish, on our side of things, when, you get a politician who talks some crazy dumb shit, lies to our face, or makes up laws that they know full well will affect millions or thousands or millions of people in a negative way.
Dude, this happens every day.
That our parliament would turn up and throw a couple chairs, okay?
No, I think it's a little bit too civil.
No, but that's the problem. We're too civil. We're too civil. We got people saying straight up, yeah, if you got preconditions, we're going to make you pay like tens of thousands more. Like, nah, man, you should catch a chair in the face for that. Like, sure, full well you're going to be harming Americans' pockets and their health, or even in Canadians. What if you do some messed up shit to us? Yo, we should just be able to throw that chair, man.
I don't think resorting to violence is ever a good thing because there's a high probability.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it'll make people think twice about the dumb laws they try to put on us. I think it'll make them think twice. Just to keep each other on our toes, because in these African nations, when they're ready to turn up over some bullshit, they're going to turn up over some bullshit. But us, we walk out and we're like, this is preposterous. Or they're going to filibuster to get their way. And then they're going to go right in front of the media camera and say, we find this despicable. We can't believe they did this. But, we got to get the numbers.
The goal in politics is always to keep your power. And no matter what kind of politics, even within Africa.
Keep your power by doing right by the people or catch this chair to the face like it's the WWE, baby.
It's not going to happen.
I know it won't.
As much as we want it to change, all
I'm saying is seeing that video, I wish it would sometimes. I wish someone was just like, this is bullshit, and threw a chair.
It happens not only in Africa, it happens in Asia too, and other places around the world. So I've never seen anything like that happen in Canada specifically.
It would be nice, man.
Maybe something like that happened in Quebec maybe one time, but like pushing and shoving and all that kind of crap and stuff. Or when Trudeau just grazed that girl and they claimed it as harassment or something like that. Not sexual harassment, just harassment.
Okay, maybe we don't start by throwing a chair, but just walk up to the politician, just mush him in the face, just give him that good old face wash for the white people that like hockey. You know what a face wash is? That's what a mush is. You just
people that like hockey.
That's what they call it. They call it a face wash, where they take the glove and put it in the person's face. But we call it a mush.
I know face wash.
Black people are like, they mush,
And if you're from Jersey, mush doesn't mean what you think it means.
We're saying it from our side of the block.
Yeah, mush in Jersey means
maybe
smash.
We should have one of the politicians be like, you just said some foul shit, and just mush him in the face, give him a good push, back him up against the board or something like that,
That's too aggressive.
It's aggressive, but maybe it'll incite the proper narratives and the proper change so people can start acting right.
Probably. That's probably a good idea.
I'm just a little hype off the video, man. It
is a funny video to watch.
It's almost like it was made for World Star. You know what I'm saying?
Like people throwing chairs and slapping people with sticks. It's hilarious.
They were throwing. One dude did a Michael Jackson spin on the table, like it was crazy, son.
The only thing that was missing was fire to his head and him spinning.
All right, next story. Russell Westbrook. You guys know my new squad, my OKC Thunder Up,
His team is the Orlando Magic, people.
In spirit and heart. Yes, in spirit and heart. But as far as just watching games this season where I won't be stressed out, it's OKC. And we just did a solid, baby. We just did a solid. You see, I'm using we now. Hey, I'm using we now.
Everyone who knows him knows that you rep the Orlando Magic.
We got that extension for Westbrook signed until 2023.
That means he don't want to win.
$232 million. And guess when he signed it? On Katie's birthday.
Okay.
Sprinkle a little Salt Bae on that, baby.
Well, who's salty? Is it Kate? What is Katie?
Oh no, I'm saying Westbrook mad petty.
Okay, let me petty.
But I respect petty sometimes.
Let him be petty in his tight jeans.
I respect petty, but you know what? At the same time, I respect loyalty. And you know what, Westbrook? You're a man of your word. You're solid. Your word is bond. And you signed that extension, 5 more years with OKC, showing them fans love, showing that organization love.
Doesn't loyalty work both ways, though?
I told you, I'm still with them. I just want stress-free games. Can I not? Yo, can't I cheer for Westbrook? And yo, Hoodie Mello, baby.
No, you can't.
Yo, Hoodie Mello.
No, you can't. Especially from coming from the Knicks, who was in your conference.
Hoodie Mello, bro.
No. No, you can't.
Yo, you gotta respect Mello, man.
No, man.
Paul George is over there now. Yo, you gotta respect it.
I know Melo's not staying in OKC, and I know for damn sure.
Yo,
Paul
it doesn't matter what happens next year. It's all about right now. And right now,
you guys are still losing.
Right now, we got the components, baby. Yo, Melo don't even gotta play defense. Just put the hoodie on, post up on your part of the perimeter, and just shoot the J. Water, baby. Water.
He's so used to losing that
baby.
He doesn't know what winning is like anymore.
Yo, Hoodie Mello, baby. We got this.
He's never known what winning is like. See, I'm a Lakers fan, so I know from both ends. I had to suffer through Smush Parker and Kwame Brown. Yo, I know the good and the bad of the Lakers.
I've been through some troubled times, man.
Troubled times?
It ain't been the same for me.
Smush Parker and Kwame Brown?
Look.
Compared to what?
Bro.
Okay.
They were at least names, bro.
Huh?
They were at least names.
You had Dwight Howard, your favorite player.
Yeah, and he's the one who ruined our squad, which, by the way, my birthday's coming up, and, I make the same wish every year. 1,000 more losses for you, so don't think that ain't coming up. When my cake comes through with the candles, only one thing on my mind, son, 1,000 more losses for you because of what you did to my squad, the Orlando Magic.
Orlando was
you bum-ass bitch.
Orlando was not going to win a championship.
No. You know what? That's not the point. That's not the point. He got the coach fired, Stan Van Gundy, a good man who really turned our team around. He got players traded that shouldn't have to be traded, and then had the audacity to leave. So you know what? After we bent over bad, which stupidly, I told you. Remember I was telling you at the time too, man, if they give him all this stuff, I'm going to be pissed off, but it's going to be even worse when they leave because we know he's going to leave. And they did all that shit. And I was like, and watch this motherfucker leave, and now I'm going to be sick as fuck. And that's exactly what happened.
And so this team has never recovered.
My birthday's coming up, and as per usual, you getting that wish. 1,000 years of losses, bro.
See, I'm a Laker fan, so I'm not used to losing.
My wishes have been working, right?
Well, he's because
he went to the Lakers, yeah. He was a bum over there. He went to Houston, he was a bum over there. Went to Atlanta, a bum over there. Where's he now? Charlotte? He's gonna be a bum over there too. 1,000 years of losses. My wishes do work, son. My wishes do work. Hope your back break again. That's bitch.
Between you, Orlando, and Dwight Howard to deal with. Like I told you.
Nah, it's not even Orlando anymore. It's me and him. It's me and him.
So if you saw Dwight Howard in the streets,
I've already said if I see this man in the street,
would you give him a fade?
Yo, I'm duffing him and I'm taking the beating. I don't care. I don't care if he's with an entourage. I'm sneaking in there. I'm getting that duff on him. Bomb right in the face. I'm testing that chin. And then if I get my ass beat, I get my ass beat, man. Worth it.
Nah, it's worth it.
No, it's worth it.
Not worth it for me.
It's not worth it for you?
Like, the only person I would probably fight with is Kwame Brown, and the only reason I know I'd win that fight...
You better fight Kwame Brown.
The only reason I know I win that fight is because he has small hands, so he can't do anything. He has bad feet and small hands, so he can't do nothing against me. So I wouldn't be worried about fighting with Kwame Brown or anything like that.
Yo, duffing him early, I don't care.
But yeah, going back to Westbrook, I don't know the point of silence because, OKC, like, what have you done for him? All right, you got Paul George, you got Carmelo, but Carmelo's not staying in OKC that's for damn sure he's not staying in OKC. There's nothing for him there. Because we know Carmelo's about his money. He is not staying there.
Look, I don't even think it's a matter of that. I just feel like Westbrook in himself, like the way he holds himself, his values, his word as a man, I feel like to him, loyalty matters.
I understand, but
that's why he signed that extension. And like I said, I was telling you before, like I'm not surprised that he's staying with OKC and doing this because he's not the type of person too that's looking for like the overt fame, like outside of the way he comes to the arena dressed, you don't hear much about him outside of the court.
Yeah, true.
Like if you watch him on Instagram, he's always at home with the family with his kid, or he's rapping, whatever new track is out. Like that's pretty much what Westbrook does, like the only real time his characteristic is flashed outside of that is when he's literally showing up to the arena in clothing that I'd never wear. But I mean, it speaks to who he is as a person because like to him, it's family and basketball. Like that's his thing, family and basketball. So for him to stick with that organization, especially after everything that happened with KD, You know, like I get it, man. I'm not surprised at all.
All I'm saying is I've seen this story happen before. Most recently, especially with New York, where a player, because of loyalty, wanted to stay with the team, and they haven't been doing any. They didn't do anything for him before, and they're not going to do anything for him after. And especially with that cheap owner and GM that they have, they're not going to do anything for him. It's like, okay, I understand you want to please the fans. That's your fan base. You know, where you started, that's where you want to do. But what do you expect from your GM? What is your GM going to do for you? Because I know, like I said, Carmelo's not going to stay there. We all know that. Paul George is probably going to go to the Lakers next year. We all know that.
Hey, man, I'm not worried about next year.
Who are you going to get?
About right now, and at the end of the day, we've seen crazy things happen, man.
What happens if they go and get Dwight Howard now?
Yo, we've seen.
That's a strong possibility.
Yo, another reason why I was finicky on the Magic. They were apparently in talks to bring Dwight back. Woo. No, if that had happened, I would have been 100% done with that team. Bro, if they had brought him back, son, I would be one of those dudes on YouTube or on Instagram Live burning a jersey. It's like, yo, I'm done with this organization.
You have a jersey of Dwight Howard?
Fuck no. Okay. I got more self-respect than that.
Okay. Oh, man.
I got me a T-Mac, though, because, you know, big up the man right there, bro.
Yeah, McGrady. He's a
one
more
man.
hero. But, yeah.
Not the original number one like my man Penny, but number one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't, like I say, Westwood, we're good. You got your money. I'm happy for you. I don't hate you. I just question the decision to stay in OKC, because especially since your team hasn't done anything for you lately.
$232 million.
Yeah, the money is fine, but
he's roughly making $500K a game.
When you play in the NBA, your goal is to be remembered. And okay, everyone's going to remember you, but they're going to remember you for a losing team.
They're going to remember his MVP season where he averaged a triple-double. He's already in the books.
Okay, but they're going to remember him mostly for losing. He broke the record.
He's in there. He's in the books, man.
Like Chris Paul. People are going to remember Chris Paul, but they're going to know him for losing in the first round, especially. And playing with the Clippers. No one wants to...
Westbrook made it to a finals. Let's remember that.
Yeah, he made it to a finals.
Made it to a finals, at the very least. You know, like, and that in itself is a feat. You know, like, a lot of times we like to downplay certain things just because a ring wasn't involved, but it is not easy to make it that far. And he made it at least that far.
I don't know. The Lakers lost one game and was in the finals against Iverson. And it took Iverson, which is...
How about you talk about all the years Boston kept whooping your ass, okay?
Well, you mean when only white players were playing and that was it, and they were playing against a whole bunch of little teams? Please.
Yo, Magic caught a couple L's too, man. Don't forget.
Magic caught a couple L's. Magic won more though. Lakers. You see, I'm used to winning with the Lakers. Okay, we can take 7 years off for winning. I'm cool. I'm all right with that. But perpetual losing like the Knicks? No way. I would never accept anything like that. That's a riot, and I don't know why the Knicks haven't rioted yet or anything like that, because they're used to losing anyways. They've gotten so used to losing with Dolan and everything like that.
I will say this one thing. I did get the feeling of adjacent victory when the year the Dallas Mavericks won, and I was lucky enough to party with them in Montreal.
Yeah, when they came to Montreal.
And I have a picture with Mark Cuban, and I'm telling you right now, it was a good night. So I felt like a champ. Not even a team that I really watched wholeheartedly, but I mean, Mark Cuban, he's a tall motherfucker. And I'm 6'5", and I'm saying that. He's taller than me. So I had a bit of the championship feel. I'll go that far.
All right.
Another NBA story that came up. Dwayne Wade is back with his boy LeBron, but this time in Cleveland.
Well, I don't have anything with that, especially because I'm like, I don't think... Yeah, they'll get to the finals again, for sure. They were going to get to the finals anyways, but you're still losing against the Warriors.
I felt like it was just one of those moves they had to do given the condition of Isaiah Thomas, because now you have Derrick Rose, who's going to have to come in as a starter until they know for sure when Isaiah comes in, because they're saying the very earliest projection is January for him to be back, which is
half
insane.
A season?
Yeah, essentially half a season. And we already know Derrick Rose, his knees are terrible.
His knees are liquid paper.
Yeah. So I felt like they brought in Dwayne Wade just to be like, if they need him to switch over to that point guard role and just take up those extra minutes, then he can be like the fostering for Derrick Rose so that the minutes don't have to be that heavy on the load for him.
I'm like, Cleveland, if you guys don't win the championship, or if LeBron, if you complain about the team, you are a bum, because you have everything that you asked for. Everything you have essentially 2 starting teams.
Well, I feel like right now, this team way better than last year's team. Like I feel like they are way better. And you know what? Like a lot of people were having their arguments about if them losing Kyrie meant Boston became better. Like who won the trade? Look, there's no doubt in my mind the Cavs won this trade, man.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. Isaiah's not playing. Kyrie is.
Yeah, even with that, but I felt like Isaiah wasn't even the thing for me that made it a win. It was the fact that they got Crowder out of that. Crowder is a guy that could be a lockdown defensive guy in the perimeter, and that takes such a load off of LeBron that I feel like that was the biggest thing on top of the fact of getting Isaiah that made it for me that, these guys took that trade.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, say for example, you never had that trade and Kyrie was still on the team, and you add Dwayne Wade. That team's better. That team's a lot better. Even without Crowder, the team is still better.
The team on the starting side, or as far as like your 6-man reliever, makes it better, but the depth that you get from that trade,
it's good depth.
Because I'm not even looking at it as like a starting lineup thing. It's fixing the depth problem, because you had guys that should have been good depth wise last year that just weren't showing up, weren't putting up the numbers. Where the hell was D. Will? What the hell was this guy doing?
Wait, you actually thought Darren Williams would actually be productive?
I felt is this what you thought? I'm not saying peak D. Will,
dude. No,
I felt he could at least go out there and get you 12 points.
No, he won't even give you 12 nuggets. I'm sorry, he won't give you 12. Derek,
like to me, there's no excuse why he couldn't get 12.
Darren
points.
Williams is the NBA version of Jay Cutler. That's what he is. He just wants to show up and get a. He's the NBA version of Jay Cutler. He just wants to pick up a check and leave. He has no heart whatsoever. He's just there. Remember when we used to talk about who was the best point guard, Chris Paul or Darren Williams?
No, I remember those. That's what I'm saying. Peak Darren Williams, man.
Oh,
there was a time when you looked at him like, he can literally run a squad and he's gonna be in those like championship talks or finals talks. Just the way he was holding his shit down.
He got Jerry Sloan fired. Sloan fired.
Well, that was the beginning of the downfall.
I knew he wasn't.
You started to notice a shift in the way he was playing and the way the perception was of him as well.
Absolute trash. I knew he wasn't going to give you nothing. Kyle Korver, he played and gave you some points, but Kyle Korver is old now. He can't start anymore. He has to come off the bench.
But you don't look at him as a starter either. Like, you want him to just come in there, be that spot shooter, like, take your corner position, take your top of the key position, just, like, take your 3-pointers, Yeah. Like, the less minutes you have him out there, the more productive he's going to be, because you want to keep him as fresh as possible.
Keep him in the corner. Keep him in the corner and let him pass the ball.
You have him on the court too long, forcing him into the defensive position, having to basically be that type of role where he does too much, then you see everything else suffers with him.
Hey, all I'm saying is that team cannot complain anymore. You guys should at least win more than one game against the Warriors.
There's literally nobody in the East. Right now, pretty much the teams that should have full control of the East: Toronto, Boston, and the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, I'm not sleeping on Toronto, man. We know they're pretty much the exact same team. Maybe they make a few changes down the line, but right now they should be able to compete for that second spot.
I don't know. No. Boston's still second. I can't put Toronto.
No, I'm not saying they will be second. I'm saying they can compete.
I don't know if they can compete either. I honestly don't know.
Because
especially after they underperformed last year.
If you think about like looking at what's in the East, 50 wins should be easy for them.
Yeah, they could probably get 50
easy for them. They should be looking like as that's the ultimate baseline for them, and then add another 16 to 20 on top of that.
The Eastern Conference has been bad since Michael Jordan was playing. That's how bad the Eastern Conference is. And I guess that's one of the larger reasons why a lot of teams are losing money, because these owners in the East, you can't mark. If you're not Chicago, if you're not the Knicks, even Cleveland, I think, is losing money.
Look, if players don't stick around, it's hard to market, which is why hats off to Westbrook for sticking around, man. Makes it very easy for OKC to market.
But you gotta market. You have to market your city, dude, to stick around to. You got to build up your area for these people to stick around.
What the hell is in OKC?
That's my point. It's like
it's farmland.
It's
made for the person who just wants to play basketball.
Oklahoma. I don't know.
Westbrook just wants to play basketball.
Do I see Carmelo raising a farm up there?
Hey, Carmelo's in a position where he's stress-free now. He doesn't have to worry about the New York media. He could just go out there, put his hoodie on, and play basketball.
Carmelo was in Denver. and he wanted out.
Denver's not a quiet place, man.
Huh?
Denver's not, like, a lot of people think Denver's one of those quiet cities. No, it's not. There's a lot of nightlife that happens there, which is why you hear a lot of times certain players in certain clubs having certain issues. Broncos players of the past, I'm talking to you. So don't look at Denver like it's one of those, oh, it's a quiet little city where you can just play your sport and no one's going to bug you. Like, no, it's no Oklahoma City.
Okay, but look how long he stayed in New York. He signed back with New York to stay. So, man, Carmelo's all about...
The money was nice, and I don't blame him, bro.
I don't think he's going to stay in OKC because you can't pay... First of all, you can't pay those three stars the money that you want.
I'm not saying whether he will or won't, but we know he already got that dirty type of money that he from New York where, hey, if he decides next year to take a pay cut, we know he's good for it.
Carmelo take a pay cut?
And you got to think, too, this is...
Wait.
No, listen.
Let me hear what you said? Carmelo take a pay cut?
Listen to what I'm saying, not what you want to hear right now, okay?
I'm
listen to what I'm saying.
Questions.
I'm saying if Carmelo decided to take a pay cut, considering the contracts he's had in the past with the Knicks, and considering the fact now he's living in Oklahoma City where the market, like you got to think of like the housing market, it's completely different than these big cities.
Wait, I just heard Carmelo and pay cut in the same sentence.
You got to think about these things. You got to think of location.
No way. Carmelo and
should we pause it and find out what the housing market is like in Oklahoma City right now?
I'm not doubting you. I'm not doubting you about the prices.
Because that makes a difference.
But Carmelo does not... Listen, Carmelo's coming down to the end of his
Carmelo don't take a pay cut in New York because it's New York. People gonna talk shit to you.
Carmelo,
you can't leave your house without somebody saying some shit, and you paying an arm and a leg wherever you live. So yeah, pay me my money because it ain't cheap out here.
Carmelo's not paying his money.
If I lived in Farmville, USA, around like the same type of mentality that Superman grew up in, just pure farmland, I know I could get me a nice big mansion for $200K.
All right.
I could take a pay cut.
But Carmelo has his house. He has a house in LA.
But right now he's going to be in OKC. That's what I'm saying, man. Like he can go there and just chill, man. Just play ball. Put the hoodie on, play ball.
No. You don't know Carmelo.
Yo, he could probably go to the grocery store and be safe.
You don't know Carmelo like I do, man.
No, I'm not saying that I know Carmelo. I'm just saying the situation that he's in.
Hey, I'm saying
he's just there to ball.
Carmelo and pay cut does not resonate.
He's just there to ball, man. He's just there to ball.
Regardless if he plays in New York or not, he is not taking a pay cut. Someone is going to pay him. Probably not a $200 million because they don't have his bird rights, so they can't give him that amount of money. But he'll get another $100.
Melo, if you're hearing this, look. Let's say you don't want to sign back to OKC. And you feeling like, you want to go someplace that's a little bit bigger with the lights, but not as big as New York. Yo, consider Orlando, man. Consider Orlando. Just throw it out there, bro.
Carmelo would retire before going to Orlando.
Yo, you got to think, man, it's nice out there, you know what I'm saying, man? Not too far away from like a beach life if you need to, but not so close that you get distracted by it.
Look at the struggle of this Orlando fan. Can't even pick which team he wants to win.
Yo, I told you. To the death of me. It's in my heart. It's in my soul.
What happens if OKC meets Orlando in the finals?
I'm watching OKC just because I want to be stress-free during
games. Let me
ask
you a question. If OKC and Orlando hypothetically make it to the finals, who are you picking?
Yeah, I'm going to flip a coin and I'll decide it then.
Wow. You see, and he's talking about loyalty. Give me a break.
Nah, it's going to be Magic all day, bro. I can't even...
All right, let's talk about something else.
All right, we want to get into the meat of things? Get into the nitty-gritty?
What makes us mad?
No, I'm just the main shit that happened this week, man. Like, well, it basically started last Sunday.
With the kneeling?
Yeah, with the taking a knee and all of our confirmations being made that it ain't about the flag. It ain't about the anthem. It's just about you dickheads not wanting black people to do things that you feel they shouldn't do.
That's essentially it. I don't think I could add much more to that. That is exactly what it is. It's like
for those of you that may not know, because we are very sports heavy this episode. Since last week, we took a break off sports. Essentially, what had happened was on Sunday, NFL Sunday. Well, it started Saturday. Trump, in his usual wake up at 4 a.m. type of way, went on Twitter and started blasting players that take a knee and saying that Any player that takes a knee, the owner should tell them to get the hell off the field and you're fired. And basically said, fire that son of a bitch. Now, we all knew directly he was talking to Colin Kaepernick and indirectly talking to anybody that's ever taken a knee in protest during the national anthem. And it seemed like this was the final straw to break the camel's back in making players, coaches, owners come together in solidarity against what Trump had said to them.
Essentially, the billionaires didn't like hearing what Trump had to say about them, and they run by their own rules. So they were like, I don't want you telling me what to do.
Now, I know we titled this podcast Don't Be Mad, but I could tell you right now, when I saw the bullshit way these owners all of a sudden gave a fuck about their players, I got pissed off. Because for so long, we've been talking about how Colin Kaepernick, his message has been mistreated, has been miscommunicated, and they're making it about something that it's not. And then on top of the fact that he's a fully capable quarterback in a league where we have seen so many terrible quarterbacks performing these last couple weeks.
Mike Glennon.
Jesus Christ. Terrible.
Mike Glennon.
Terrible. That there's no excuse as to why Colin Kaepernick isn't on an NFL roster outside of the fact that the NFL is blackballing him. For them to come now and have the nerve to link arms during the national anthem, or as Jerry Jones did, take a knee before the anthem, as if, you're so much special now that you decided to take a knee with your team. Fuck that shit.
Well, we believe. That's how he talks. We believe. We should respect that.
All I saw was a bunch of people who put money into the campaign of Donald Trump to put him in the position where he is right now say, hey, we were perfectly fine with you saying that, grabbing a girl by the pussy is the way to get her, or talking down on Mexicans, calling them rapists, murderers, and drug dealers, or going as far as to disrespecting a Gold Star veteran's family. All those things were perfectly fine. But the second you start telling people not to watch the NFL and telling us that we need to fire our players,
that's the line right there.
These sons of bitches.
That's the line right there.
When you start hurting our pockets, that's when we decide that enough's enough with you. Fuck you.
Well,
where the hell were you when all the shit he was doing before was going on and you weren't saying a goddamn peep?
That's how they are, the NFL owners, though. They're protecting their bottom line. That's the only thing that actually matters to NFL owners.
And you have the nerve to go out there and say you're in solidarity with the players. If you're in solidarity with the players, Kaepernick would be on the team.
True.
There's no way you can tell me that you're solidarity with the players that are on your roster or on your team, but when it came to a guy like Colin Kaepernick, all of a sudden he's not on the team, hasn't been on the team, deserves to be on a team based on the product that we've seen these last couple of weeks when it comes to quarterbacks, and you're going to tell me you're in solidarity with the players? Don't fucking piss on me and tell me it's raining. Get the fuck out of here.
That's the NFL, man. I'm not surprised of it. The whole protest has been hijacked from solidarity to protesting the flag. No, that's not what it is, and it's far away from the original message that Colin Kaepernick had anyway. So,
and that's the most frustrating thing.
What they're doing right now is I don't even care what they're doing because I know it's fake, and it really, I'll watch what Colin Kaepernick's doing and I'll follow his example because what he's doing is actually something that's productive and positive because he's actually donating money to the causes of what he actually initially protested to.
Exactly.
And this is just like, these people are just hijacking it so that they can protect their bottom line and protect their money, which is
and look, whenever it comes to this topic, I always want to remind people of the original message and how the original message came to be what it was. Yeah. When Colin Kaepernick was originally asked about why he was sitting during the national anthem, and realize I'm stressing, he was sitting on the bench during the national anthem, the first thing he said was that he was sitting because he felt that the way blacks and people of color were being treated and being attacked by the police, unarmed men and women being shot by the police, was wrong. He said the systemic racism that was happening in America isn't indicative of the way that the rights and freedoms that the Constitution is supposed to represent have been presented to people of color. So because of that, he's sitting during the national anthem as his own peaceful protest. Now, after this happened, a lot of people had things to say, but in particular, he had a conversation with who I believe was a Navy SEAL who, through their conversation and through them having the opportunity to speak to one another, they came to the compromise that, well, right, Colin, you don't have to stand during the national anthem, but it would be better for you and a better showing that you still have a belief that it could get better if you just took a knee on the sideline rather than sitting on the bench. And this was the compromise that he made with a veteran Navy SEAL to show, yeah, I'm willing to not only have a conversation to push what I feel is right forward, but also show the people that I'm worthy of compromise, that I'm willing to compromise in order to make sure that the message I'm trying to present doesn't come across in a way that offends people and then takes away from the message.
Yeah.
Even in doing that, they still disrupted his message by presenting one that wasn't his own, saying that he's protesting or being disrespectful
the message
to the
changed,
anthem,
man.
being disrespectful to the country, and being disrespectful to the troops. Consider like taking a knee. How is that possible when it was a veteran who told him this is the better path to take?
Dude, it's blatant racism. It's blatant people choosing to believe in what they want to believe in. Like, for example, you see people, especially in the South, and I'm sorry if this offends some people, but not all of you in the South are bad. But I see a lot of people from the South waving Confederate flags saying, oh, he's not American. He's not American. Dude, you're waving a traitorous, treasonous flag. You lost.
The most offensive flag you can wave in the United States is the Confederate flag.
And there's this quote that says a lot of people use patriotism to hide their racism, which is absolutely true. You're saying, "Oh, I'm a patriot." No, you're not. You're just a racist. You're using patriotism to cover your own insecurities in yourself. It's sad that Colin Kaepernick, after all this stuff, still doesn't have a job. And even lately, with the Sports Illustrated cover that had everyone linking arms except the one person who started it, which was Colin Kaepernick, and you had Roger Goodell on there. I'm like, really?
They put Roger Goodell on there. Like, they put the owner from Jacksonville, who was known to have donated $1 million to Donald Trump, but yet you didn't have the women from the WNBA who were some of the premier people.
Well, I think they had
Black Lives Matter.
had Candace Parker on it, but
just saying, like the people that mattered the most, Colin Kaepernick. You had, I believe, they had Michael Bennett on there, but there were a lot of other names, a lot of other faces that have been pivotal, not just from the point of taking a knee, but as far back as the Black Lives Matter movement, and they just put up a bunch of faces that in recent weeks were a part of the narrative.
Just to make money, man.
It was literally a cash grab, and it was a disgusting one at that because, once again, you're not on message here.
Yeah. It's all money.
If you want to bring attention to something, bring attention to the message that it's supposed to represent. Stop changing this narrative and making your own way of it because that's where we get the bigger issues that come along where all these people are coming in, they're making it their own issue, and they're not sticking to the point of what it was originally.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. I can't really add to that. Is that what made you mad this week, or you want to talk about what really made you?
That was one of the things that made me mad. I mean, I had relatively a good week. You know,
should I go off on what I want to get mad about?
But no, we'll get there in a second. We'll get there in a second. We'll get there in a second because there is one thing I want to bring up. I got to shout out my boy LeBron because he did something that just sent Twitter ablaze, you know? Like, after Steph Curry...
He fixed his hairline?
Man, can you...
I'm asking a question. You said Twitter ablaze.
How about you relax?
I was just wondering, did he fix his hairline?
No, relax, okay?
And Dr. Phil helping up a lot then.
Basically, after Steph Curry decided that, you know, he wasn't going to go to the White House, made it very clear he's not going to the White House, you had good old Trump going out there and saying, oh, well, if Curry's going to be hesitant, I'm going to take my invitation away. You know,
this nigga wasn't going anyways.
Sounded like a little bum. And rightfully so, because what does LeBron do? LeBron goes full force and calls him you bum. And for anybody who played sports, knows a thing or two about sports, if you get called a bum, that's like the height. That's like your ex looking in your face and just telling you all the hard shit about you that, like, you couldn't take, like, saying you just a broke-ass nigga and all this shit, like, you ain't shit, you a fuckboy, and, like, you just getting that hurt. Like, that's the equivalent of being called you bum. You know?
Basically calling you trash on the court while you're playing.
Yo, if someone calls you a bum, you gotta show them proof, man. Like, yo, that's fade worthy. Like, you ain't gonna come on this court call me a bum and not offer me the one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? Like, grab the ball, get the top of the key. Yo, you gonna put your money where your mouth is right now. Everything stops.
I'm not gonna even put too much onus on what Trump says anymore, because right now he's just saying a whole bunch of ridiculous crap. So it's like, all right, here, what is Trump gonna say this time? And
it was just nice. It was just nice to hear LeBron just call him a bum, especially in defense of Steph Curry, you know, because they've had their little back and forth, you know, little shot, like subliminal shots fired here and there. So for him to go and just, you know, attack him and just give him that you bum and defend Steph Curry at the same time, it shows, man. Like, yo, honestly, NBA players, man, they've been showing improving lately, man.
Yeah, but I don't doubt NBA players are more independent. They have their own platform, bigger stars, so you know they could say a lot more than what NFL players can say. So I wouldn't put it past them to, like, you know, say whatever they want, and you know they have a lot more freedom. They're more connected with
the only thing I will say people. I don't like is, you know, and it's a rule that's been around long before any of these controversial things have happened. But NBA players have to stand for the national anthem. It's in the rules, and you know what? I would still like to see, even though the rule's in place, if they really feel compelled to. And I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of who you are, what you are, you're going to do something based on the way you feel in your heart, the way it'll affect your family and friends and yourself. But for those that feel it, how deeply we've seen them feel it, I would still like to see them do some type of showing, even if it's while they're standing. Maybe it's a shirt they're wearing, or if they decide not to knee, you know, just because it's in the rule, do something that'll show that you're still there. You're still basically solidarity with the original message.
Yeah.
You know? Because, I mean, I don't want any of them to do something that's going to affect their pockets. Because, I mean, end of the day, you know, like, you got a family to feed.
Nothing's going to affect the NBA players' pockets because their contracts are
no, I'm saying more of because it's a rule that they have to stand.
Oh, yeah. It's a little probably,
you know,
like,
like,
a couple thousand.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's money's money, man. I'm not going to say 15,000 is nothing to them. Like, at the end of the day, it's still money, you know?
Yeah.
But it would be nice, like, if they wore a T-shirt, which we saw the WNBA players do. Like, they had the T-shirts, which showed tremendous solidarity, and for the NBA players to do something like that, because I don't believe there's anything in the rule book about the type of T-shirt they wear.
They can wear anything they want. Yeah.
As long as it's not like self-promotional.
As long as it's matching too. As long as it's matching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Essentially uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see something like that happen, you know, especially when you have, you know, Greg Popovich, who, you know, during media day, he gets up there and he basically gave what I felt was one of the best compositions about what has been going on, and basically his personal shame at the way the country is handling itself, the fact that the country's leader is showing himself to be somebody that is untrustworthy, is childish, is completely disgusting in the way he feels he can bully tactic everything around him, you know? And I mean, like, I tell people this all the time. When it comes to leaders in the NBA, I've always respected Greg Popovich just as what he did basketball-wise, you know? Like his
Popovich and,
you know,
Steve
20-plus years coaching the Spurs, and he's always had teams that you looked at and respected. You know, the players always held him in high regard. You always saw the best of them come out because of him. And in recent years, with everything that's been going on so politically, how much political fatigue we're all having, you're seeing the moral side of him come out more. And it's making me respect him as a man so much more, because it's something that he doesn't have to do. He doesn't have to go out of his way to give.
He does it because it's the right thing
exactly.
to do.
And he said it. It's the right thing to do, and you can tell that he is truthfully passionate about it.
He's a nice man. Him, Steve Kerr, a couple others.
Steve Kerr had said some things. Even Steve Nash had said a few things not too long ago, and it's just, you're seeing people who really don't have to stick their neck out for others doing it, which is why it's so important that we don't get taken off message here.
Yeah.
And we don't allow people that are trying to control the narrative to do so in a negative way. Because when you have these people that are sticking their necks out for us and they're doing everything that they can capably do to bring more light to the situation and bring a different type of understanding, it's very important.
Good on them. Proud of them. Like, I don't like the Spurs or anything. Not my favorite team, but
as a Laker fan, I'm not surprised.
Greg Popovich is a stand-up person. So he talks the truth. He's not afraid of the backlash, because who's going to give Greg Popovich backlash in the NBA? Who has the
You don't got enough clout.
Who has the clout to give him backlash? No one.
You ain't got the sauce like that.
No one could really say anything back to Greg Popovich anyways. But yeah, good on him.
All right, man. So Jason, how about you tell us what made you mad this week?
Oh yes, the news segment.
Because I know Jason has had a lot on his mind. He's been harboring this. He wanted to start the show with this. I was like, no, you got to take your time. We can't just come in, like playing that Mob Deep, threatening to cut people with the box cutter. We can't do that. We got to come in slow, and then you got to hit them with the Mob Deep, okay?
All right, so what I see, especially in the Black community, there are agents, as you can say, that pretend that they're actually doing something positive for the black community. There's the Jason Whitlocks, the Stephen A. Smith, Herschel Walker. Yeah, if you don't know, Herschel Walker, one of the greatest NFL players of all time, said some coon shit. But no one can top the coonest of the coons as Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis, you are a coon, sir. And I don't want you to kick my ass because I know you're a freaking mutant. I've seen you play football. You're crazy as hell. But
just swing first, Jason. Just swing first. That's all I say.
But you are a coon. I'm sorry. Listen, he went on Undisputed with Shan Sharp and Skip Bayless and said, "Oh, Colin, you shouldn't be protesting. People before you have done this already. Just go out there and play football." To me, what you're saying is, oh, because people have done it before, you should give up and just play football and be quiet. That's what I'm saying. And he said, "Oh, would you take a knee with Colin Kaepernick? Would you take a knee with Colin Kaepernick for the flag?" He says, "No, I'm not. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to bring attention to the team." This is all of Ray Lewis's words. He wouldn't want to kneel for the flag. He doesn't want to bring attention to the team. Move on to a few weeks later. There was talks, quote unquote talks, to get Colin Kaepernick on the Baltimore Ravens. Until his girlfriend Nessa, who
posted up that picture.
Who posted that picture with the Django Unchained of the slave?
Very accurate picture, by the way. If you don't know what we're talking about, just search Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend Nessa Twitter post. The post might be deleted, but there were screenshots.
Just look for Ray Lewis hugging owner and Samuel Jackson hugging Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ray Lewis Django Unchained. It'll pop up
the first thing, and you see basically in Django Unchained you see Samuel Jackson hugging the slave owner. Leonardo DiCaprio, and you see the picture of Ray Lewis hugging the owner for the Baltimore Ravens, Steve Bisciotti,
in the same manner.
And they said that because of this picture that was posted up, Colin Kaepernick didn't have a job. I'm like, really, Ray Lewis?
But you want to know what's funny about that? They went as far as to blame Kaepernick's girlfriend as to why he doesn't have a job. But if any of you know who Miko Grimes is,
Miko Grimes is the gutter.
Any of you
she is the gutter.
Know who Miko Grimes is? You'll know why that is the most bullshit excuse we have ever heard in the history of sports ever.
Miko Grimes is the gutter of the gutter.
No, I'm not going to call her gutter. I'm going to call her real grimy as fuck. Because at the end of the day, she is ride or die. She tells shit exactly how it is. And Miami was fucking with her man for far too long, and she got tired of it.
On we go on to like the more recent thing. So there was a football game on Jacksonville and Baltimore playing in London this past weekend. This is after what Trump, made his comments and everything. So everyone's locking their arms, fake solidarity. Everyone went on their knees. And we see Ray Lewis with the Ravens. We're like, what is Ray? I'm wondering, when at first I'm like, what the hell is Ray Lewis doing there?
In London.
Then I see him first. This is what a lot of people didn't see. And there is video footage of him. He was on one knee when everything started. He was on one knee for a long time. Then after, he went on two knees. I'm like, look at this coon. You said you wouldn't kneel for the flag. And like, you bad-mouthed Colin Kaepernick for 2-3 weeks about why his girlfriend posted this, why you wasn't doing that. I'm like, really? And then the Monday after, this is him saying, to James Brown and the whole NFL network crew, like, listen, I didn't get it on one knee. I got on two knees. I was praying. He was using religion to hide his coonery.
And look, hey, let's say he was praying. Wouldn't it be a bit disrespectful to be praying and not paying attention to the anthem when the anthem's going on if you respect this country oh so much and the anthem oh so much because you do way too much with the military and the police in this country?
Dude, he said, I do too much for the military. I do too much for the school. I'm like, for you to have to justify that you do too much for whatever cause means you're not doing as much as you think you are. Because if you have to justify yourself for saying that you do this and you do that,
you don't do anything.
You don't do anything. You're not doing anything. And this is the problem I have when people say, oh, Ray Lewis does a lot for the community. What has he done? The same Ray Lewis who's saying, oh, Colin Kaepernick, you should do this, you should do that. Ray Lewis, you're a double murderer. Now it's confirmed. I know you kill people now. I'm sorry.
Oh, allegedly.
I know. I'm saying it. You killed people now.
He was not convicted.
You kill people now. You didn't talk.
Legally speaking,
you didn't talk.
He did not. He was not convicted.
This is the same. This is the same Ray Lewis who said to parents in Baltimore, "Get your kids home. They should be at home." But Ray Lewis's kid is raping people and stuff like that, getting caught in rape charges.
Allegedly.
No, this is fact. This is fact. This is actual fact. Huh?
Was he convicted? He was charged.
He was charged for rape, and he got off because he's Ray Lewis's son. That's the only reason. That's the only reason he got off, because it's Ray Lewis's son, and he's from Baltimore. That's the only reason.
Okay, so we still got to put allegedly.
And he's always telling, what parents should do with their kids. I'm like, sorry, Ray Lewis, you have 6 kids by 4 different women. Who are you to tell people what they should do with their kids? No one ever wants to talk about this with Ray Lewis. And I'm so glad that Shannon Sharp called him out for his bullshit.
The realist, Shannon Sharp. Skill!
And this is supposedly his best friend. One of his best friends. But Shannon Sharp is a man, and he talks the truth. And he's not afraid of what people are going to say about him. But Ray Lewis, you need to stop cooning. Stop using your religion to hide your coonery, because it's getting tired. We see through it, man. We see through it. Tired of you hiding behind your religion to make up your excuses and stuff like that. Let Kaepernick do what he wants to do, saying, I would pray for Kaepernick. I'm going to pray for him. I'm like, oh, really? You would pray for Kaepernick? They even asked him this, would you be on your knees praying like you did with your players with Kaepernick? And he couldn't answer the question.
Of course not.
He couldn't answer the question.
Of course not, because he wasn't praying.
And all he was doing on Monday and on the rest of the week, this week, was just talking in circles, not saying anything. Talking a whole bunch of nonsense, but not saying anything.
The more you got to explain yourself, the less likely you did exactly what you're saying.
God, I hate this.
Look, to me, the only thing that bothered me was the hypocrisy. Because, like I said, to me, if you wanted to stand. I'm not mad at you for standing. If you want to take a knee, take a knee. I'm not going to be mad at you for that either.
The limelight was on his knees.
The only thing, but no, what I'm saying is like the only thing that matters to me is when they come to you and they ask you why you made your decision, stick to it. If you decided to stand and you say, you know what, I have family in the military, I have a great love for this country, I have a great respect for it, and I just felt for myself, I needed to stand and show my respect to the anthem. So be it. I'm not going to be mad at you for that. That's what the line you want to choose. That's your right. If you take a knee and you go out there and you say, look, in solidarity with Colin Kaepernick and what he started and understanding that there is a problem with police brutality against people of color, and you take that original message that came out and that's why you're taking a knee, boom, I respect that. But to all the players who decided this week that they were going to take a knee simply because Trump opened his mouth about what should happen to players, you're a bit late. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad your eyes are open, but you're a bit late. I'm not going to pat you on the back because that's the reason you're here. Because you should have been here before. You should have been kneeling for that reason or against what Trump has been doing, even if you're not kneeling for the same reason Cap is. You could have came up and said, look, I don't like the way this country is being run. Our president is not representing the country properly, and for that, I'm taking a knee. No, you took a knee because he called football players that take a knee a son of a bitch. That's why you took a knee. That's why I don't respect you as much.
Dude, I don't care.
Ray Lewis could have went out there, could have stood, and I still would have had the same respect for him because at least he was a man of his word. He said he could never take a knee because of his family that's in the military and the work he's done for the military.
He took 2 knees. Remember, he took 2 knees.
He took 2.
Talking like a slave.
After saying he could never take a knee. If he had went out there and stood, even if he was standing beside his men, stood there as he said he would do whenever that anthem plays, I would still respect him as a man of his word.
And his boss said it was okay.
That's the only reason I'm mad. It's the hypocrisy. It's the fact that you have people that are now all of a sudden want to speak up and say things. And you have Drew Brees putting out a tweet saying, oh, the whole team is going to take a knee before the anthem.
That doesn't accomplish
and then
anything.
Stand during it.
Doesn't accomplish anything.
You can't appease both sides.
You can't play both sides like that. You can't do it.
Because once again, the only reason you're taking a knee is not for the original reason we were taking a knee in the first place. You're doing it for your own reasons, and then you want to make people happy about it. The Cowboys did it, and they still got booed. The Cowboys were the first ones to take a knee before the anthem, and they still got booed. So what does that tell you about these people?
My thing is, especially from the black community, is like, I hate that, especially Kuhn Lewis talks bad about black people, but he can't handle he has problems with his own stuff that he's not handling.
Look, you got to understand something.
That's my problem with Ray Lewis. It's like, you talk bad about black people, but
we say it all the time.
All the time.
You have the right to say what you want. You have freedom of speech. But the same way you have freedom of speech, you have to deal with the consequences that come after it.
Yeah.
You can't go out there thinking you're going to do something and not get scrutinized for it, especially in the climate that we're in right now when every little thing that's done, people are looking through it with a fine-tooth comb. So for you to literally do something that was complete opposite of what you said you would never do, you deserve everything that's coming at you. You deserve Shannon Sharp putting that fire on you because you sat there in front of him, across the desk from him, and said you would never take a knee.
But he used religion, as he always does, to justify his
religion is not an excuse.
That's what he does. That's Ray Lewis.
The word that mattered when he spoke was never.
That's Ray Lewis, though. He uses religion to justify his shit. That's what he does. That's
when
Ray
you say
Lewis.
never, there is no compromise.
That's Ray Lewis.
And like I said, I would have respected him if he went up there and he stood for that anthem, even if he was standing right beside those guys that were kneeling. You said you would never kneel. You stand there, you put your hand on your chest, and you respect your anthem as you said you always would do. But you didn't do that, so you deserve the scrutiny that's coming your way. It's that simple.
Whatever, man. I don't want to spend time on Kuhn Lewis anymore. If anything comes up again, I'll burn him again if I have to. But just stop talking bad about black people and tell them what black people should be doing when you can't even control your own home situation and your own kids. That's the thing I have to say.
And you know what? Like, after everything that happened last week, I'm very curious to see now what's going to happen. Are we going to continue to see people taking a knee in such a full force as we saw last week? Or, was it a one-off? Will people start actually speaking the message? Because a lot of people weren't on message, you were hearing a lot more reporters really coming out there and trying to keep everything on message and reminding people how this whole thing started in the first place. So to them, tip my hat, because we need more people reminding people to stay on message, because there's too many narratives that are trying to push away that original message, which was the reason a knee was taken was because a compromise was made between Colin Kaepernick and a Navy SEAL that he can represent his protest against the unfair treatment of black people by this government and the police brutality that happens to people of color in this country.
Yeah.
So because of that, remember why that hashtag take a knee is there. Don't forget that when you have these conversations with your friends and family. And if they try to steer you off message and they try to tell you that you're wrong for what you're saying, at that point, ignore them. Don't argue with fools. Because when you argue with fools, you got to ask yourself, who exactly is the fool?
Ray Lewis. I already know the answer to that. Ray Lewis is the fool. But yeah, enough of that. That's what made me mad this weekend. That's what made me mad in this whole past week. So, I think we can end it there. Let everything off our chest with...
after last week, we kind of gave you guys a sports break just so we could talk Kevin Hart and talk a little off-the-cuff relationship, You
guys got your sports now.
We brought it back to sports for those who wanted to hear it. Sorry, ladies, for the ladies that aren't into sports, that... like us for our other dynamic topics, we'll get you back another time.
Speaking of great ladies, the winner of the Amazon...
I almost forgot.
The winner of the Amazon $50 gift card giveaway, Miss Sarah Allaire.
And guys, it was a first come first serve thing. Whoever got us that answer,
it wasn't even that. No, it wasn't even first come first serve thing. I'll tell you exactly what happened because a lot of people did not listen to what I told them to do.
That's it.
There were 3 people that did exactly what I told them to do. I was like, but a lot of people did do the survey. And I told them, listen to everything I said. Listen to everything carefully. So when I had the 3 people shake it up in a hat, Sarah's name came up. I'm like, yeah, Sarah won. She did everything I was supposed to. Everyone, what you did wrong is you didn't sign up on the forum, like I kept saying. So don't complain about it's rigged. No. Sarah did every single.
That forum was the big one.
The forum was the big one. You guys got everything right with the answer. What did I say in the episode? What dating apps did I reference? You guys did everything right on that part except the forum part. And congratulations, Sarah, you won. And I'm sure she's putting the $50 to good use. So shout out to Sarah.
Yeah, maybe some cool vintage comic book T-shirts.
I don't know what Sarah likes.
Like one, because they're very expensive.
Like what?
Like a vintage comic book T-shirt.
I guess it's good. I guess. Well,
maybe she bought some socks, like I suggested earlier.
I doubt she bought some socks.
Hey, you never know. You can never have too many socks.
I'll ask her. But congratulations, Sarah. You won. There will be other contests, so you'll have another chance. Just listen carefully next time. And
maybe she got some cool shot glasses. I saw some cool shot glasses before. I was like, I want some.
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
And yeah, congrats, Sarah. Maybe you might win again. Maybe you might not. It's all pretty random.
Yeah,
so
we'll see what happens. Crazy people.
He has crazy kids here. All right, everyone. So that pretty much wraps up this week. Yeah. Thank you guys again for listening.
Where can they find us, bro?
You can reach us on iTunes now. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play. So you can look for us. Don't be mad, and you'll find the podcast on all the directories. If you don't use any of those 2, I know the other like Overcast, they pull the API from iTunes, so it'll be on there as well. So you can search us for pretty much anywhere, any podcatcher or directory that you have, you'll probably find us on those kind of things.
We're here for you, man.
And you can reach me on Twitter at JJNBA. Those are all letters.
You can find me on Twitter at LeftyLucky_.
Yeah, and you can get us on Facebook.
Don't Be Mad Podcast.
And the connect.ca. Join the forums there. We have, I know Lizette put up a lot of topics on the episodes that we recorded previously. So if there's anything, there's pretty much everything for everyone. So if there's something that you want to talk about, specifically when it catered to that episode, just talk about it and I will reply to it. And I have some interesting replies as well because I'm crazy like that.
And because I privately was talking to a few people, we will get the blog going and we'll be having some after the episode thoughts, maybe a few days in the week when, things settle a bit and I talk to a few of you about how you felt about it, giving my deeper perspective on whatever the topic was, plus maybe some outside commentary from what I've spoken about with people. So start looking out for that this week. I'll most likely try to drop it on a Wednesday, Thursday the latest, before some football. But look out for the blog to start happening.
Yep. So also I want to note on the podcast, please subscribe, share, and rate it. It helps us out a lot.
Yeah, the rating is the biggest one, obviously, along with the sharing.
Helps us a lot. We want to grow. We want to hear what you guys have to say, hear what we could do better. It helps us out a lot. So we appreciate the feedback.
I mean, we appreciate honest reviews with a 5-star rating. So, I mean, you can give us 5 stars and be like, they are the worst podcasters ever, and we'll read that and be like, you know what? He's probably right. But thanks for the 5 stars.
But yeah, thank you all again, and I guess we will see you all next week for another episode.
Been a blast as per usual, bro.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
Thank you all for listening.
We'll see y'all next week. Thanks.
Take care.